Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk yet again about the whole weapons ban bullshit, because apparently it was given a first hearing by that scumbag rhino fuckboy, Bob Peterson, yesterday in the House Oversight Committee. So yeah, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Peterson's smug ass. I actually called up his number here a few minutes ago. He, of course, wasn't neither was any of his aides, for that matter, to answer the damn phone. So I left a message there, and I said, "Yeah, I want to know if this garbage is going to get a second hearing because I want to testify against it because it's unconstitutional shit, basically." And so many words, and was them basically saying about how everybody that's behind this needs to be removed from the General Assembly for deprivation of code of law is what it is, because it's all unconstitutional crap, dude. So we'll see if his office is back here or not. I doubt they will, but who the hell knows. So, but yeah, for those interested in what scumbag Peterson, who broke term limits 2 years ago, looks like, this is what Bob Peterson looks like as the current chair of the House Oversight Committee right here. This fucking dickless rhino. And this is that idiot Willis Blackshear Jr. giving testimony for this garbage yesterday.
All right. Chairman Peterson, Vice Chair Thomas, Ranking Member Humphrey, and members of the Government Oversight Committee, thank you.
By the way, Letitia Humphrey is the woman who is only in power because she literally runs in a district that has no Republican or independent opposition. So she's literally a one-horse race, Democrat in power right now, every general election. And pretty much every primary, too, for that matter, because nobody's primaried her ass out yet. So,
for allowing me the opportunity to present testimony for House Bill 433, which will prohibit mass casualty weapons. This bill defines mass casualty weapon as any semi-automatic firearm designed or specifically adapted to fire more than 31 cartridges without reloading. Other than a firearm
and I guarantee this fucking retard doesn't even know what a cartridge is, for that matter.
Bring only 22 caliber short, long, or long rifle cartridges. The inception of the idea for this bill comes from a tragic event that is personal to me.
Oh, you mean the Dayton massacre?
In my district. The 2019 Oregon district shooting.
Oh, you mean the Dayton massacre that was done by your fucking left-wing Antifa and BLM fuck buddy, Connor Betts? You mean that motherfucking Dayton shooting, buddy? You fucking asshole, Willis? You mean the same fucking thing that could have been prevented if Ohio actually had constitutional carry in place at the time, you dickless piece of shit, or even stand your ground for that matter, which, by the way, are two pieces of legislation that have now become law in the state of Ohio in the past 3 years now. Because it was 2021 we had stand your ground, 2022 we got constitutional carry. And if either one of them had been in place that night, and people could have been carrying those bars, they could have been firing back against this dickless loser Connor Betts. Who, by the way, for those who don't know about Connor Betts, that motherfucker should have been a person in the state of Ohio over 12 years ago when he made rape and kill us in his high school. So yeah, fuck you, Willis, you fucking cunt. Fucking asshole. Trying to fucking talk about preventable tragedies. This fucking reasons to ban this shit, you fucking douche.
For those that may not be aware, on August 4th, 2019, a gunman opened fire.
No, you mean a leftist terrorist gunman.
Bar in Dayton, killing 9 people and injuring dozens more. Despite an immediate response from law enforcement, 32 seconds after the first shots were fired, the gun.
32 seconds is an immediate response, dipshit. Fucking 2 seconds is. Which could have been anybody at that bar had been carrying that night. But of course, you can't carry in the bars in the state of Ohio because, shocker, dickhead Democrats like Willis Blackshear Jr. keep unconstitutional bullshit in place to stop people from carrying weapons into bars, restaurants, etc. that serve alcohol, is what it is here, and make them into gun-free zones. So, I also want to point something out too, that after the cops smoked Connor Betts' ass, there's actually video footage out there that's come out this past year, is what it is here, of the security guy at the one bar there grabbing the AR out of that asshole's dying hands and beating him in the fucking head with it about 10 times. Which, again, if that security guy had been armed, you could have smoked his ass right there, is what it is. Big difference is, though, and this is why you had the cops have to take down Betts' ass, is because Connor Betts had soft body armor at the time. which is handgun caliber rated. So even if people had shot at him with handguns and actually hit him in the chest and stuff like that, it probably wouldn't have done much, honestly. It wasn't until an actual shocker AR-15 or patrolman's rifle was used against him, the same gun that Betts was using that night. Well, technically it wasn't the same gun because Betts was using a AR pistol. And the reason I say he's Antifa and BLM affiliated specifically is because he was having BLM and Antifa groups actually help him make the fucking gun to put it together because he was such a fucking dickless loser. He couldn't even go to fucking YouTube and just find fucking ways to build an AR-15 is what it is, dude. Which do exist there, by the way. Sure, you gotta put it together step by step, but it's not that hard, honestly, dude. You put a trigger in the fucking thing. Like, it depends on what you're doing, actually. If you do strip lower and stuff like that, you're putting a trigger in a strip lower, putting a hammer in a strip lower, putting some pins through it, et cetera, there. So, and then just twisting a bunch of stuff on and having, like, a castle nut wrench or an armorer's wrench, for that matter, and doing stuff like that's what it is there. So, I basically done it myself. It's not that hard to do, honestly, dude. It takes, like, depending on if you're a novice to it or whatever, it may take you a couple hours to do it, obviously, with all the little pins and whatnot. But if you're like have like experience in doing them and building lowers and stuff like that, it takes maybe like a half hour, 45 minutes or so, depending on, again, experience level and stuff like that. So, but anyway, continuing on with Willis's lies and bullshit.
Gunman was still able to fire 41 shots in 32 seconds.
Yeah, and guess what, dumbass? He could have done the same exact thing. Even if he didn't have the 100-round drum, he could have done the same exact thing by just having a bunch of fucking 30-round mags. And the thing is, too, by the way, for that matter, it's not like you can't get fucking 20-round mags for ARs, dude. Like, seriously. It's just fucking nonsense is what it is, bro. And the thing is, again, you're talking about... and I want to point something out, too, for that matter. So, not only should Connor Betts have been a permanent person in 2012 with a rape and kill since high school, he also committed like 5 or 6 other felonies before he went on this fucking massacre that night. Because he was doing a bunch of fucking drugs in the parking lot. So he was in possession of fucking cocaine, I believe is what it was. He was doing cocaine in the parking lot, along with like some Xanax that he stole from his mom. I believe that's what it was. It was either Xanax or Zoloft he stole from his mom, and then was taking those two as well. So yeah, he was stealing fucking prescription medication, which is another felony charge, by the way, if you get caught doing that shit. And then he was taking said medications. And so, yeah, he committed like a bunch of felonies before he even did his massacre that night, dude. So it's like, yeah, Democrats are going to do what Democrats want to do, dude. You know, fucking psycho people are going to do what psycho people want to do, man. I mean, hell, the guy killed his own sister, for God's sakes, that night. Now, granted, his sister was supposed to be his brother then because she claimed that she was trans man at the time or whatever the case be. And that's what people were always talking about, it being like, oh my God, it was a massacre of the trans people and stuff like that. It's like, well, you know, yes, it was, and yes, it wasn't. Because it's like, you know, I don't know if the guy meant to kill his sister or not, honestly, on that one. So, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who the fuck knows? But either way. Again, it's a preventable tragedy, dude. A preventable tragedy that's not prevented because fucking asshole Democrats create gun-free zones in this country and the gun-free schools since like 1990 for the last 34 years in this country's history. So,
the reason the shooter was able to fire so many shots in that period is that he had a 100-round double drum magazine, which allowed him to fire all 4 shots before needing to reload.
And?
Had a magazine restriction been in place, a gun such as the one he used would be illegal.
No, it actually wouldn't, dickhead, because you cannot ban guns, you fucking asswipe. Because number one, dipshit, it's called the Heller ruling of 2008, which is common use, you fucking moron. Number two, you also have the Bruin decision, most recently in the Supreme Court a couple of years ago, that also does not allow that shit, you fucking dickless loser, commie piece of shit, Willis Blackspear, you fucking moron. This guy needs to get fucking booted out of office this year, dude. He really just needs to lose that fucking general election in November for the Senate District 6 is what it is there. And never get her from fucking again at that point, dude.
To be clear, a gun with a magazine size of 30 plus 1 bullet in the chamber would still be legal under this bill.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Large custom magazines being added to guns to increase...
First of all, you fucking retard. They're not large custom magazines, you moron. You can go buy a 100-round drum on any fucking site in this country. You can go buy a fucking 50-round drum on any site in this country, you idiot. They're common use fucking mags, you fucking idiot. And the only reason your dumbass wants to ban this stuff is because you want to fuck around with people's rights. And the thing is, all this does, like what he's saying right there, all this does is to fucking chip away at our shit yet again, dude. Because right there he's trying to claim, oh, well, it wouldn't ban 30-round mags with +1 in the chamber. Not yet. But again, this is just none of their fucking infringement on our rights, dude, is what it is. Because they're trying to chip away at the larger ones on that. They're trying to chip away at the 50-round drums, the 60-round drums, the 100-round drums. And guess what, asshole? There's also fucking 40 to 60-round mags out there that you can put in a gun, you idiot. Like, literally, there is a fucking, where's it called now? Round 8R mag. Yeah, there is a, actually there's a couple different sites that make them. The one I was thinking of right here is called Surefire. It's a 60-round mag. Go ahead and pull up a picture of this real quick here. And there's also one that ATI makes. It's also a 60-round polymer mag. So, I'm pretty sure it's a 60-round mag. Okay, just making sure on that one. So yeah, you actually have 60-round mags out there. You also have 40-round mags too, for that matter, dude, that are common use as well, for that matter. So yeah, you're just a lying sack of shit, Willis. Fucking asshole. Yeah, specifically, where's that here now? This is the 60-round mag that Surefire makes right there. And then there is, where's the next one up here? Then there is this 60-round mag made by ATI Tactical, was what is there. So, and like I said, you can also get 40-round mags too, for that matter. So what this would do actually is it would ban 40-round mags, 50-round drums, 60-round mags, 60-round drums, 100-round drums, 200-round drums, etc., dude. It's all unconstitutional, buddy. Again, this is just a slippery fucking slope, dude. It's just the Democrats being like, oh, but nobody really needs this. You know what nobody else really needs, dude? Is a little fucking bitch, commie faggot like you in power, Willis Blackspear Jr. Or piece of shit Bob Peterson, for that fucking matter. It's giving your bitch ass the fucking chance to even have this stupid ass fucking hearing yesterday, you fucking douchebag. Like, no, we don't need a little commie fucking douchebag. You want to fucking pull some magazine ban bullshit, asshole? Take your fucking commie ass to China, you fucking Chi-Com fuckboy. Because don't want your fucking ass in Ohio, you dickless cunt.
Killing capacity of those weapons. Additionally,
wait, what did you say now?
Illegal. To be clear, a gun with a magazine size of 30 plus 1 bullet in the chamber would still be legal under this bill. But we are trying to prevent large custom magazines being added to guns to increase the killing capacity
not custom, idiot.
Of those weapons. Additionally, there have been several.
So what he's really trying to say is they know for a fact this is unconstitutional as fuck and would be fought in the courts for that matter. Because I would personally bring a lawsuit against Willis's ass by name at that point if this ever passes. The whole point entirely is, though, is they know that they would be immediately struck down as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court and stuff like that. Everybody's just hitting like 30-round mags and stuff like that. So instead, they're hitting 40-round, 50-round, 60-round, etc. There's what it is, dude. Which is a bunch of bullshit entirely, bro. Actually, you know what this asshole makes me want to do now? It makes me want to go out there and buy a bunch of fucking 40-round, 50-round, etc. magazines. Like, that's all it does, dude. That's all you're doing. You're basically becoming a salesman for the Second Amendment, dude. Because you're saying, hey, we want to ban this stuff, and now you're telling every Ohioan out there that wants these things, hey, now you got this fucking time to go buy the shit. Go buy it now. Oh, by the way, also fight against the fucking tyranny on top of that is what it is. So, yeah, very interesting.
Outlets that have stated that this bill would ban all or nearly all semi-automatic rifles.
Because it would, dipshit.
This is false.
No, it's fucking real, dickhead.
Only once a gun has been modified
fuck off, dude.
A magazine that holds more than 30 rounds does it become illegal under this bill.
Okay, did you see that right there, though? He just fucking contradicted himself on that one. Because first of all, he falsely claims, oh, it wouldn't hit 30-round mags that you got a +1 in the chamber. And then he's saying anything 30 or more. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck, bro? Come on. Don't bullshit a bullshit artist, you fucking scumbag.
Currently, 14 states have some restriction on magazine sizes.
Yeah, and they're all unconstitutional. They're all being fought in the Supreme Court, you fucking dickless loser. Or various circuit courts, for that matter, because they're all unconstitutional, you fucking moron. And I also want to point something out there, Willis, is you have over 30 states now that are constitutional carry states, you fucking moron. You also have over 25 states that are fucking stand your ground states, you dickless loser. Ohio is both those things, you fucking idiot.
Some having different restrictions based on handguns versus rifles, and some states also having penalties for the distribution of larger size magazines. Lastly,
yeah, and they're all unconstitutional,
this
dude.
bill is not a new approach to firearm regulation.
Bullshit is not. Bullshit is not.
In fact, prior to 2015, Ohio law banned firearms equipped with a magazine that held more than 30 rounds.
Yeah, and it was repealed because it was unconstitutional, and there was court cases fighting against it, you fucking idiot. I seriously want to knock this dude's fucking teeth out, honestly, right now, dude. I swear to God.
But a provision that was tucked in House Bill 234 from the 130th General Assembly eliminated
tucked in my ass
firearm capacities. So let's just be clear. This was something that was law prior to 2015.
Yeah, it was unconstitutional.
We simply just want to go.
And that's the thing, dipshit. Just because it's fucking law doesn't mean it's constitutional, you fucking idiot. It's exactly what I said in the previous Grandstand. Anything that can be looked at as was unconstitutional should be looked at as never written. Marbury versus Madison, 1803. End of fucking story. I think I said 1807 in the last episode, but it was actually 1803 is what it was. So, yeah, Marbury versus Madison. Let's go look it up right now. Actually, we'll talk about it for a second right now. Yeah, Marbury versus Madison, 1803. Established the principle of judicial review, the power of federal courts to declare legislation and executive acts unconstitutional. What does Marbury versus Madison, 1803 do? It is important because it established the power of judicial review for the U.S. Supreme Court and lower federal courts to respect the Constitution, and eventually for parallel state courts to respect the state constitutions. And like I said, specifically what it does is it looks at any piece of legislation that can be deemed unconstitutional and says, hey, this should be looked at as we know it and begin with, is what it is there. Which is exactly what this piece of shit thing that Willis is trying to pull up right now is what it is. So, anyway.
To common sense regulation in Ohio.
It's not common sense. It's commie bullshit, you fucking dickless loser.
Before 2015. A regulation that recognized that there's simply no benefit to society that can outweigh the dramatic increase in killing power a magazine with more than 30 rounds in it conveys to its users.
Why don't you go fuck yourself, dude? Seriously. I also want to point something out, too, and this is something that Guns and Gadgets brought up earlier today that I didn't even realize is in this legislation as well. So, of course, what does this do, actually? It only fucks over people like me and every other citizen in this state. It doesn't actually fuck over the cops or law enforcement or any fucking military that's active right now. If they want to have a fucking 40-round, 50-round, 60-round drum, 100-round fucking drum, 200-round drum, whatever it is, dude, they can still have that shit if this would become law again. Yet it only fucks over civilian ownership of these things, dude. And again, it's always attacks on that stuff because why do they only attack the American citizens? Because they know it's going to be their jackbooted fucking faggot-ass thugs, the fucking cops. They're going to be the ones enforcing this bullshit tyranny. And that's the entire point, dude. It's them trying to make a fucking protective class of fucking scumbags is what it is, dude. Meanwhile, these same fucking asshole Democrats are trying to make DACA cops now out of fucking illegal aliens in this country under Obama's administration. So,
members of the committee, please join me in making a simple change. Let me just say that.
I'm pretty sure this woman back here in the black is an MDA member, but I could be wrong about that one, though. Because she looks like one of the ones I've seen before that's got the MDA shirts on and stuff like that. Or that might be actually one of the General Assembly members, if I'm not mistaken. Like Baker or somebody, maybe. I can't remember offhand.
A simple change
that will
save lives and help prevent tragedy.
No, you know what a simple change that will save lives will be, Willis? It's kicking your fucking ass out of the General Assembly and putting you in Ohio prison where you belong, you fucking rhino, you fucking scumbag, oath-breaking sack of shit, commie bastard. That's the simple change that can be made, is fucking kicking your fucking cunt ass out of the fucking General Assembly, you bitch. Fucking demon.
Like the one that took place in my community. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there questions for the witness? Representative Skindell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative, thank you for bringing forward this bill. So Ohio.
Oh, by the way, I want to point something out. The fucking idiot that's talking right now, Mike Skindell, is the dickless loser that wants men and women's sports in the state of Ohio. He's also a fucking pedophile.
For more than 40 years, did have a ban on massive casualty weapons.
Yeah, this is the fucking idiot last year when they were trying to ban girls and guys sport, or trying to ban guys and girls sports. That was literally throwing a fucking temper tantrum on the state house floor is what it is, dude. He's also basically a known pedophile at this point because he's basically backing pedophile legislation in the state of Ohio is what it is. To allow pedos out, back out of prison without a fucking any kind of charges, basically.
It had been repealed, as you noted in your testimony.
Yeah, because it was unconstitutional, dipshit.
Why do you feel that that repeal was not in the best interest of Ohioans, and it's important to bring back?
It wasn't the best interest of Ohioans, you fucking idiot.
Weapons.
Well, through the chair, thank you so much for that question. You know, like I stated in my testimony, if somebody has a weapon with 100 rounds, what are you going to do with 100 rounds? Why do you need that many rounds? It doesn't make any sense. And I believe we need to go.
Okay, so I'm going to call you out on that one, Willis. Whatever the fuck I want to do with it, you fucking dickless loser, because it's not your goddamn fucking right to tell me as a fucking American citizen what my fucking rights are when you literally have in the U.S. Constitution something that your fucking bitch ass swore an oath to on January 4th, 2023 to shall not be infringed, asshole, which is what you're fucking doing with this bullshit. You're infringing on people's constitutional rights to keep and bear arms, you fucking dickless loser. Why don't you go read the fucking oath you swore to office, asshole? And then meanwhile, explain to me why the fuck you shouldn't be kicked out being an oath-breaking fuckboy. Fucker. Because you can't. That's the entire point, dipshit.
Back to how it was prior to 2015. Like I said, this is not...
You mean how it was prior, meaning unconstitutional bullshit for 40 fucking years?
The right message.
Yes, it does, dipshit. But what it conveys is that you're a dickless piece of shit, Willis, and need to be thrown out of General Assembly along with Peterson and fucking Skindell for this crap.
Other questions for the witness? Thank you for your testimony. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
I would not be surprised if Bob Peterson's actually having orgies with the Democrat Party at this point, dude, including Willis Blackspear Jr., including Michelle Grimm, including Jessica Miranda, etc., behind closed doors. Because why would you give 100% Democrat legislation, that kind of shit, dude? That's the real question, unless you're fucking these people. Oh, I also want to point something out, too. Skindell, the guy that was the idiot talking about the ban there is what it is. He's also a co-sponsor of HB433 right there, right behind Russo. So, yeah, you have a guy who's the ranking member who is literally the fucking co-sponsor of the fucking anti-gun legislation they're talking about right now. How is that not fucking conflict of interest, dude, at all? Like, how are you still in power after that, dude, for real? Like, I just don't, it just, oh my God, man, it's just, whew, buddy. I swear, like, again, this is why I have not gone down to testify against some of the stuff at the State House, dude, because I know I'd be arrested for beating the shit out of some of these people, is what it is, dude. Like, I'm going to have to seriously I'm going to have to talk to Chris Dorr and people from Ohio Gunners to, like, hold me back when I'm down there testifying from fucking knocking some people's teeth out, honestly, dude. If I have to go testify against this shit. Because... bro, it's getting to that point right now where I just want to fucking fight these people legitimately. And truthfully, that legislation should exist in this country across the board right now at every single level. It should be legitimately, you can fight a politician for the sheet of power is what it is then, dude. And if that existed, I guarantee we'd be much better off as a country right now. So. All right, let's see here now. Oh, actually, while we're here, we'll talk about some other stuff here as well. Got some stuff popping up on my feed right now. Apparently, you got outrage as Kyle Rittenhouse tells Indigenous Americans to leave over Mount Rushmore protest. That's kind of funny. Not even gonna lie about that one, dude. That makes me laugh. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see, we got USA Today here saying hacked data reveals which U.S. gun sellers are behind Mexican cartel violence. Yeah, it's called Barack Obama and Operation Fast and Furious back in 2009 or 10 or whatever the hell it was there. So, he literally gave a bunch of guns to cartels, and a bunch of those guns have been used in violence since then, dude. A bunch of actual mass casualties and stuff like that. And of course, you got Democrats' new bill aims to ban 50 cal firearms and force existing ones into the NFA. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And this is why there's going to be violence this year, by the way. Like, this is why we're heading towards a civil war in this country, dude. I mean that for real. And again, it's not going to be people like me kicking this shit off. Like, I'll straight up say it, dude. I'll be the person that would just swing at you right then and there and be done with it, dude. Like, I'd knock your fucking teeth out, honestly. But I'm not going to be the one, like, you know, going out there and doing, like, some crazy ass, like, you know, mass genocide of fucking politicians or something like that. That would be the guy who's not talking about the shit. He's just arming up that fucking rifle and shit right now is what it is, dude. So, and it'd be some probably military vet would be my guess, honestly, of all people. Or even some fucking cop that are exempted from this shit is what it is then, dude. So, yeah, it says Democrats' new bill aims to ban 50 cal firearms and force existing ones in the NFA. It says new bill has been introduced in Congress aiming to ban 50 cal firearms and ammunition. Legislation titled Stop Arming Cartels Act of 2024 seeks not only to prohibit the future sale and possession of 50 cal rifles, but also to force current owners to register their firearms under the National Firearms Act. Bill introduces additional provisions to allow lawsuits against gun manufacturers under certain conditions. Go fuck yourselves, Democrats. It's called the Lawful Commerce and Arms Act, you fucking cunts. It says bill introduced by U.S. Representative Juan Castro, a commie piece of shit, and Veronica Escobar from Texas, this dumb cunt right here, by the way, who is a known fucking commie sack of crap. I guarantee, if anything, like, she's fucking bought and paid for by cartels there in Texas, dude. I guarantee if you look into her finances and stuff like that, who actually bought off her fucking campaign and stuff like that, it's probably some Mexican cartel bosses and stuff would be my guess through dark money campaigns and shit, and various super PACs and things they created. Oh, shocker. Of course, Maxwell Frost, little commie bitch from Florida, who only won his fucking seat of power in this country because he literally ran in a Democrat-only district. The first Gen Z fuckstick in power right now, dude. Who, by the way, literally had his entire campaign funded by credit card debt, which should have automatically kicked him out of fucking the race at that time, dude, because you can't even afford to fucking run, you dickhead. He's also the same fucking wants to ban, what do they call it, zombie guns now? Which are literally fucking guns made of, like, gun parts is what it is, dude. That were, like, police trade-ins and shit like that. That's what it is. It's like, good lord, man. These people are fucking morons for real. Like, again, like, in a just world, every single one of these people, the second they submit this legislation into any chambers, what it is there, dude, there should be police right on their ass, handcuffs in hand, slapping them on their fucking wrists, yanking them out of that seat of power, and perp walking them off to the fucking jail cell to be charged for deprivation of law, etc., and never fucking see the light of day again. It should be life imprisonment minimum for that stuff, and be done with it then. So yeah, the thing here, it says ban 50 cal firearms bill proposes to make it illegal to import, sell, manufacture, transfer, possess 50 cal rifles. The ban aims to address the perceived threat posed to by these high-powered firearms. These Democrats don't know what they're talking about, by the way. And then we got 2 grandfather clause NFA registration. Says owners of 50 cal rifles purchased before the enactment of the bill will be allowed to keep their firearms. However, they must register them as NFA weapons within 12 months, aka a year. Yeah, go fuck yourself, cunts. No, I'll see your asses in court on that one personally, dude. I don't even own a 50 cal, but I fucking want one now is what it is, dude. Like, it's a bunch of bullshit, dude. It's just, again, it's an attack on the Second Amendment. It always is, dude. It's a fucking attack on the Second Amendment. And like I said, just because Willis wants to sit there and bullshit and moan and everything else like that and be like, oh, this isn't going to ban fucking 30-round mags in Ohio and fucking have whatever then. It's like, yeah, not yet, dude, but that's a fucking slippery slope they're going to pull then, dude. First it's going to be, let's ban these fucking 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 round, whatever it is there, drums and you know, actual mags that can hold 50, 60 rounds in them is what it is there. And then next up, you're going to have another preventable tragedy, probably by one of your fucking black buddies that's all fucking criminals in this state, doing another fucking massacre down there in Dayton or over in Toledo or up in Cleveland or down in Columbus or over in Cincinnati, whatever the case be there. And then you're going to be like, oh, but look, it was a fucking 30-round mag this time. Now we need to ban 30-round mags too. Or we just need to ban ARs entirely then. And AKs too and everything else that can hold these things. It's a bunch of commie bullshit is what it is, dude. It's a bunch of unconstitutional commie horseshit is what it is, buddy. So. Oh, and then you have that Dick Smoke Lewis Tubin, who's a fucking fuckboy too, for that matter. He was talking about something else here on this House Oversight Committee hearing yesterday after everything. He was talking about basically not bringing the gas chamber stuff back in Ohio now is what it is. So, yeah, which was nitrogen peroxide, hypoxia as a method of execution. Which we should be adding a bunch of stuff at this point, dude. We should be adding firing squads. We should be adding fucking hanging again. We should be adding fucking electric chair back to it is what it is. All of it, dude. Hell, we should have eye for an eye laws on the fucking books right now for real, man. Like, if you're going to kill somebody this way or that way, you need to be killed that way is what it is, dude. I actually saw one the other day. It was a woman who was on trial because she had killed her 4-year-old stepson by starving the kid to death. And it's like, yeah, then put her ass in a fucking room and starve her ass to death for a week or two then. However long it takes, bro. Like, eye for an eye, buddy. Simple as that. Apparently Yost was Attorney General Dave Yost was actually apparently discussing the, I think this was 392 as well here, about the execution method here.
An honor to be with you here today.
I really think Yost is going to try to run for governor in 2 years right now. And I don't know, man, like, I would like to run myself right now, but again, not having any money behind me, it's like, it would be a really uphill battle where it might be better for me to just try to run for, like, I don't know, a state rep seat or something, maybe, or something. Depending on where I move to, I might be able to, like, primary somebody else. That'd be the case then. And I would actually back a Yost governorship for that matter, dude, because even though I'm not a fan of career politicians, is what it is, like, Yost has done a lot of good stuff as AG. And from my understanding, like, he really has not done too much that fucked us over is what it is, dude. So, like, would I believe him to become tyrannical as governor? It's hard to say, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's really hard to say. Like, maybe he might become another, you know, lame duck rhino and stuff like that. Or maybe he might actually be a great governor. Like, only time would tell, honestly, on that one. Like, if he does what he's doing right now in the AG's office as governor, like, he would definitely be a very good governor, dude. And I know for a fact he's been pro-gun as AG is what it is there. So, because he was the one that did the whole, like, 2-year thing there between 2021 and 2023 to talk about constitutional carry because he knew something like that was probably going to come up as what it was there. So he basically did, like, he saw it was coming and was like, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do now, and did basically like a pre-thing for it where it was, hey, let's take this year of data right now between 2021 and then the year of 2022 to 2023 when we pass this stuff, and then the whole year of 2023, which is like a year after that, and see if it actually decreased the violence or whatever because of constitutional carry. And it did, by the way. It was proven to do that, and it did it in almost every single major city in this state, too, for that matter. I think it was like 6 of 8 or 7 of 8, something like that. So.
77. A man named Gerald Bob Hand got into financial difficulty. To solve his problem, he killed his wife, Donna. Tried to get her life insurance.
So 1977 is what he's there.
In fact, got away with it. 2 years later, in 1979, Bob Hand, again strapped for cash, killed his second wife,
Jesus.
Lori, right here in Columbus, a little over a mile from where we're sitting on the west side in Franklinton. And he collected her life insurance. I guess he had found "till death do us part" to be the favorite part of his wedding vows. Fortunately for his third wife, she divorced him before she too became a victim of matrimonial murder. But Bob Hand was not ready to quit. In 2002, he conspired with a friend of his named Lonnie Welch to kill his fourth wife, Jill Hand.
Good Lord.
He then killed Welch so that nobody could testify against him.
Wow.
Four murders over 25 years, each abusing the trust of the matrimonial vows. 2003, I prosecuted Bob Hand. I stood in front of the jury in Delaware County Court of Common Pleas, and I asked the jury to listen to the evidence, weigh the factors in mitigation, and to return a verdict of guilty, a capital sentence. This is not an easy thing. It's not a casual thing. Asking my citizens, my fellow citizens, to return that verdict was the hardest thing I think I've ever done. I think probably it was the hardest thing anybody had ever asked those jurors to do as well. But they did their duty, considered the evidence and the mitigation, and they returned a capital verdict. But Bob Hand was not executed. For years, he worked the appeals through the state system as appropriate, and then through.
See, I'm actually going to go ahead and stop that right now, because I'm going to go ahead and disagree with Yost on that one. If you can prove that this guy's murdering people for 2.5 decades, man, like his ass should get no appeals at that point. He should be killed on the fucking spot, bro. Like, that's the problem right there, is giving these fucking criminals any kind of appeals like that, dude. Like, if you can prove this guy straight up murdered his wife for fucking financial gain multiple times, and then the buddy that he was conspiring with to do it or whatever, then, dude, the fourth time around, like, bro, like, no, just fucking kill this guy and be done with it. Put a bullet in his head, fucking put a rope around his neck, put a fucking, bit in his mouth, and fucking pull the thing for electric chair, whatever the hell it is at that point, dude. Kill him any which way possible at that point, then. Seriously. Fuck lethal injection, dude. Kill him how you kill all those people is what it is, bro. Seriously. Firing squad or whatever the fuck the case be at that point. So.
The federal system, all the way to the United States Supreme Court.
Jesus.
And while his victims lay in their graves year after year, and their families waited for justice and closure, he wrung out every delay that he could from the legal system. At this point, only God knows the total resources, time, money, legal expertise.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You're pissing away taxpayer dollars.
In 2018, he was out of appeals. There was nothing
6
left
years
to argue about. And yet he still sits on death row 21 years after his conviction. What's worse,
look at this fucked up woman back here, like all smiling and shit back there, dude. Looks like she's on her phone too, so she's probably like smiling at whatever's on the phone there. But it's like, Jesus, you got Yost talking about the shit in your crazy asses back here smiling about, like, oh yeah, this guy murdered a bunch of people. Yeah, he got away with it too, kind of thing. Like, fuck you, lady.
is that his case is not an outlier.
Jesus.
It is actually the norm for our broken capital punishment system. The average time on death row for an inmate is now nearly 21 years.
That's insane, dude. Should be less than 21 days.
Case after case, brutal killers who are the worst of the worst are evading justice.
Yeah, exactly.
And the ostensible reason why Bob Hand and similar death row inmates have not paid for their crimes is that pharmaceutical companies will not sell Ohio the drugs that they need to carry out capital sentences.
Of course they won't, because they're scumbags.
Let's consider that for just a moment. Capital punishment is a lawfully enacted statute. It's on the books. It's the will of the people of Ohio through their elected representatives.
Damn right.
Some crimes should be punished with death.
Yeah.
Just like every state.
Like exactly what Willis is trying to do by banning guns here. Literally in our founding fathers' day, they would have hung your ass for that shit, dude. I'm going to straight up say it right now. They would have tarred and feathered that motherfucker in the streets, honestly, on that one.
Statute is part of the sovereign power of this great state. Are we going to allow the people's will and the sovereignty of this state to be overturned by the whim of a private sector CEO or a corporate board that wants to second guess our policy considerations? call it a private sector pardon. It's preposterous. It ought to be rejected out of hand.
Yes, it is.
This bill will put an end to the stalemate and restore Ohio's sovereign power to act. Does this by authorizing the state to use another alternative means of execution, nitrogen.
See, the problem I have with that, though, that we've been debating about the whole, like, nitrogen hypoxia and stuff like that, it's like, bro, you guys have had, like, 6 years at this point, or more even for that matter. You've had decades, honestly. You could put anything on the fucking books right now. You could have put firing squad on the books right now. You could have put fucking hanging on the books right now. You could have put electric chair back on the fucking books right now. You could have put gas chamber on the books again. You could have put fucking anything, dude. Hell, you could have put brazen bull treatment back on. You could have put fucking blood eagles, for God's sakes, on the fucking thing, dude. As methods of execution and stuff in this country. And we should have, honestly. We should have all that stuff on there, dude. Again, it should just be simply called eye for an eye laws. However you kill someone or fuck with a child over the case, that's how you die, you know? If you're a fucking child molester raping kids, dude, that's how you fucking get raped to death is what it is then with machines and shit then. You know? Etc., etc. So, anyway.
Hypoxia, for which death row inmate breathes nitrogen gas until lapsing into unconsciousness and then death as a result
of gas chamber
deprivation. Nitrogen is easily obtained and administered. It is in the air you are breathing right now. It is not a poisonous gas.
It's just suffocation, basically.
Would deprive pharmaceutical companies of the power to veto Ohio's law. The method was successfully used in Alabama in January of this year. Naturally, death penalty foes will try to paint this form of execution as cruel, unusual, or painful. The same claims have been made repeatedly about Ohio's existing statutes using lethal injection. In permitting Ohio to resume executions via lethal injection in 2017, the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit, this is the law in our state, our federal circuit, stated that some risk of pain is, and I quote, inherent in any method of execution, no matter how humane, and quote, the Constitution does not guarantee a pain-free execution. While many opponents of the death penalty continue to base their opposition on some idealized alternative of an antiseptic death that is free from pain, details on such a method are never forthcoming, and more importantly, that is not the legal or constitutional standard. House Bill 392 also provides important confidentiality protections for those who assist and participate in Ohio's lawful executions. This is to shield them from harassment, threats, doxing, and other forms of intimidation. It also shields them for censure or discipline by official licensing organizations. I'm well aware of the...
By the way, what Yost is talking about with that is because you would need like doctors/nurses to administer this stuff, I believe is what it is. And that's what he's basically talking about, is like protecting their names from being, you know, fucked with is what it is then. Which is ironic because, you know, you have abortionists out there mass murdering children in the womb every single day, and they're fucking protected and the same bullshit is what it is, dude. So.
The moral weight of this debate about capital punishment. I recognize that there are people with deeply held beliefs who don't think we should have capital punishment. I have wrestled for many years with my faith, with my conscience, to try to sort out what I admit is a thorny and difficult problem. But I respectfully disagree with those who think that there is no place for capital punishment in our system. However, this is a sovereign state, and if we wish to break the promises we made to the families of all these victims over all those years, if we wish to break faith with the jurors who we asked to make these weighty decisions, then we should do so openly and have the courage to make the necessary changes to our laws. To dodge this debate is to prolong the dishonesty and hypocrisy, not to mention prolonging the stunning costs in time and money of capital punishment system that spends millions of dollars per case, not to produce justice, but to delay it.
So I want to point something out because I was looking at whatever else is going to be in this 2-hour hearing yesterday for the other hour and 20 minutes here. So one of the things that was in here was by that Pinocchio lawyer, I forget his name, Blyle woman, and then Michelle Grimm, create HB433 creates an exemption to candidate disclose of name change. You know what this is for, by the way? This is actually a third hearing and stuff. This is to allow Democrat trans pedophiles to be on the fucking ballot now, dude. Like that sick fucker that was trying to run here and start counting with my fucking district, dude, is what it is. Who's a known fucking child molester who is fucking literally using their fucking dilator thing to fucking use as a dildo basically in front of their fucking toddler. A toddler that they actually were the father of before they had their fucking dick converted into a fake pussy. And because they didn't put their fucking real name on that, they were kicked out is what it was then, dude. And rightfully so. So anyway. Going back to what Yost was saying here, and then we're going to try to move forward on the other. We'll talk about that for a second if we have Grim and that dumb bitch there.
Endlessly. I welcome that debate, and I will vigorously defend the use of capital punishment for the worst of the worst.
Good.
The fact is,
you know, I'm kind of wondering if a Governor Yost would actually sign firing squad into place or not. Considering he's like obviously pro capital punishment is what is there.
the death penalty could be abolished today, this very moment, if a majority of people of Ohio wanted it. In fact, death penalty foes will point to poll.
By the way, there's also a bunch of dickless rhinos and a bunch of scumbag Democrats who are trying to do with the House of Plenty currently in the General Assembly, something I'm totally against, by the way, because most of those fuckers should be charged under it for various separate racial is what it is, which, by the way, you can be charged with a death penalty under deprivation of law. It's actually the fourth and final thing for severity of the crime is what it is there, which, yeah, if you're sitting there fucking stealing elections and, you know, taking away people's rights, keeping bear arms and stuff like that, we should be charged with the death penalty is what it is then, bro. So...
So they say show a slight majority disfavoring the death penalty. But that's
and I guarantee that poll he's referring to, or those polls he's referring to, are probably like the 500 to 1,000 people under polls at college campuses and stuff like that.
survey question is asked in the abstract without any details about the actual
on college campuses, most likely.
Let's look at what happens in reality. Remember that Ohioans get to vote on the death penalty every time they sit on a capital jury. And remember, too, that under Ohio law, the jury's vote for execution has to be unanimous. If even one juror disagrees, death penalty is off the table for that particular defendant. And what the prosecutors in this state find is that Ohio jurors do vote for the death penalty. Because in an actual murder case, jurors learn about the actual victims, about the brutality of the death of those victims.
Yeah, like the piece of shit who threw Nilo Lattimore off a fucking bridge when he was 3 years old, or killed his mother in cold blood. I don't know if that guy was ever charged with death penalty or not. He fucking should have been. He should have been executed with a firing squad at that point in history in the state of Ohio. Same thing with people that killed Ace Lucas and Vernon Sweeney.
How the heartless killers did what they did. In the most heinous of these cases, jurors know the death penalty is the appropriate punishment, and they vote for it. If and when Ohioans decide that the death penalty is no longer acceptable, it will be obvious. They will stop voting for the death penalty in capital cases. All it takes is 1 out of 12. Until that time arrives, the Ohio legislature should make sure that Ohio's capital punishment system faithfully enacts the will of the people and respects the rule of law. Passing this bill will do that. Thank you for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you for being with us today. Representative Brown with a question.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Attorney General, for your testimony.
Okay, I don't want to hear what Dick Brown has to say about this, because I don't give a fuck what that idiot Democrat piece of shit cheater has to say here. So let's try to move forward a little bit to whatever the fuck what's his faces was then. Oh, okay, here we go. This was the yeah, there's that stupid cunt Grim who's a known fucking MDA member. So let's see where we're at now. Okay.
On Representative Cross's question, the confidentiality provision to which you alluded is actually part of this bill, so that's good. But my question then is, have you and your office done any?
By the way, that's Bill Seitz right there. He's one of the scumbag rhinos right now that's actually on HB433 to basically enact a red flag law in the state without calling it a red flag law. So, yeah, he's also one of these old fuckers who keeps flip-flopping General Assemblies too, for that matter, for decades now. He's a career rhino. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go forward even more so then, because that was for 471. We want to go to 467 is what it is right now. Actually, let me go look up 467 right now. I want to look that up real quick for a minute here, because I want to see exactly what that's labeled as. John Cross, by the way, the guy that they were showing right there. I don't know if he's in his third or fourth term right now. I think he's in his third one, because I think there was talk of him possibly trying to run for the speakership next year too as well, against both current speaker and Rhino Sack of Shit, Jason Stevens, and then against Matt Hoffman, who would get in there. So that'll be interesting through a race, by the way, because that'll be definitely splitting the caucus then for sure. So anyway, I'm going to look up 431 right now, or 471 right now. I want to see exactly what this does. Okay, it's 17 Democrats, including Seitz. Okay, it says to allow an elector who is not a member of the local party to protest a person's candidacy for that party's nomination on certain grounds. Okay, so that's what it actually is. So it's based. So essentially, it would be I, as a Republican voter, right now by default, because I have to be, because it's either Democrat or Republican. This bullshit two-party state is what it is now. Even though I'm a libertarian, party I created in 2016. So basically, as a Republican, by default, here's what it is. I could basically contest a Democrat from being on the ballot, kind of thing, so it would be there, which I should be able to, especially when they're fucking pedophile pieces of shit who just want to push fucking, sterilizing of children and stuff like that. But anyway. So anyway. Continuing back on with the rest of this whole thing, though. So this was after the whole deal there with Cross bitching and moaning about something, and then let's see. What are we at here? Robert Wood. Who the hell's this fucking guy?
Chairman Peterson, Vice Chair Thomas, Ranking Member Humphrey.
Of course, this fucking Democrat's against it.
Government Oversight Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to offer proponent testimony on House Bill 471.
My name is Robert Wood, currently he's forward actually.
Elections member.
For some reason, I thought that was opponent, because I think I just saw the OPON or whatever. Okay, so this guy's actually for this thing then. Like you said, he's also a Board of Elections member, what it is there.
And former chairman of the Greene County Board of Elections and executive chairman of the Greene County Republican Party. I've also done campaign work at the local, state, and federal levels for over 20 years in various capacities, including campaign management, operations, and research.
So you're the reason why we have a bunch of rhinos in power right now, buddy? Good to know, asshole. So you're part of the problem there, Wood. So.
In modern day America, we increasingly substitute feelings for fact.
He's right about that, though.
Emotion for logic, and triggering for thinking.
Yep.
We know and understand that laws are changed periodically.
What's interesting too is that you said feelings for facts, whatever the case be, and that's the sad part, right? When you look at all this stuff, like look at going back full circle there to the beginning of this episode and stuff like that. You look at Willis Blacksford Jr. Why is he attacking the Second Amendment? He's attacking it based on a preventable tragedy from 2019 that happened in his congressional district before he was even a state rep. Something that could have been prevented had the Gun-Free School Zones Act of 1999 not been in place at the time, that prevented people from carrying in bars and places like that, etc. That could have been prevented if we actually had constitutional carry or stand your ground in the books at the time, or both for that matter. We needed to have people be armed constitutionally and have stand your ground on the side to be, killing that piece of shit Connor Betts is what it is then. And I've mentioned many times, by the way, I mentioned this many years ago where the feds federally swatted me and had to take down half of my channels, what it is in the original channel, stuff like that. I said straight up, dude. If I had been there that night in Dayton, I would have blown fucking Bet's head off at that point with my own gun at that point, dude. Because I would have stopped that fucking massacre in its tracks right then and there, dude. They say that stuff, I will. I'll fucking straight up say it on camera. Like, I would have killed that fucking Antifa piece of shit right then and there, dude. I would have smoked his ass in the fucking skull at that point. So even if it meant costing me my own life for that matter, because he obviously had soft body armor that would have stopped me from shooting in the chest and stuff like that. But yeah, if I could have got like a fucking headshot or a fucking eye shot or something like that, dude, like, dang, bitch. It would have been as simple as that, really. So, yeah, because the only thing that, and ironically enough, like, even fucking, even as Willis was saying, you know, what stopped the massacre? It was, quote unquote, good guys with guns. It was a bunch of Dayton cops that came back half a minute later, 32 seconds specifically, and don't. Mind you, if you actually look at the details of the case, though, there's definitely them actually killing some of the people that night in Dayton in the crossfire, because you actually have, when they did the autopsy results of all the people that were shot and killed, supposedly killed by bits, is what it was, quote unquote. The 9 people that actually died there of their wounds and stuff. Some of them had 5.56 rounds in their system. Some of them had 9 mil, dude. Which is what the cops were using in their handguns, because the only thing that actually killed Connor Betts' ass was a shot from the rifle going through soft body armor that was pistol caliber rated, is what it is. And again, like, what's next? Are they going to try and ban body armor in the state of Ohio? Probably. Knowing fucking Democrats here, they probably would do that shit, honestly, dude, for that matter. It wouldn't surprise me at all, for that matter. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen it yet, honestly. But again, it's because they try to go for guns first is what it is, and then everything after the fact. Everything else after the fact, I should say. So, anyway. Go back to this Wood guy, though, talking about 471.
Hopefully, after good research, much discussion, and thoughtfulness, the legislation before you now logically lays out reasonable clarifications of ORC 3513. For example, our founding fathers set out minimum age limits for federal office. Why would they do that? It takes a certain amount of life experience to lead.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the 25, 30, and 35 requirements that we all know about.
It's kind of a joke in some
also
cases now.
established a citizenship requirement, knowing that it is not logical to think that you can well represent a group to which you don't belong. Hence the citizenship requirement.
So here's my problem too with that whole thing, dude. Like, and I hate to make it about race, this actually is, dude. Like, how are you as a minority gonna represent me as a white dude? You know, like, that goes up to every Democrat in the state house right now, dude. Like, if I was in any of these Democrat districts, dude, first off, I don't respect you as a fucking elected official to begin with, because you're a fucking cheater in most cases. Number one, because you're all one-horse races in most of the cases. What it is, their district shouldn't exist at that point in history in the state of Ohio, honestly, because again, it should be one county, one rep at that point. Number two is the fact of the matter that, how are you going to represent me in my best interest if I am pro-gun, pro-2A, pro-life, everything else like that, you know, pro-America, and you are a communist sack of shit trying to steal away my gun rights, trying to steal away my rights to protect human life in the womb, etc. there. You know, push all abortion on demand to moment of birth kind of stuff like that's what it is there. Like, no, that's totally polar opposites what it is, bro. So yeah, I should be able to contest your ass in the fucking things what it is then, dude. Even being on the ballot then.
There are offices also that have a maximum age limit at this time. The thought process behind that is,
by the way, that maximum age limit is also used in Congress, Senate, etc. there, dude.
help assure mental clarity and capacity for logic and reason. It's necessary.
Yet, meanwhile, we have 80-plus-year-olds in Congress and Senate, right, and the presidency, for that matter, who are obviously mentally deranged and fucking dementia out and everything else like that. So,
Necessary for those in such position to have full command of their faculties, as the decisions these offices make.
Oh, you mean like Jerry Nadler, who shit his pants on camera a couple of years ago? Like, seriously, you're not even in faculties of your fucking function, dude. Like, you can't even fucking keep your shit in your body. Like, how the fuck are you still in power after that, dude? When you're crapping your pants on fucking live TV, man. It's such a joke. It's like such a fucking joke, man.
Can literally have life and death results. We heard testimony about that in a previous bill we talked about. Those decisions require the utmost of those making them, and the ability to do such work must be beyond question. It is self-evident that those committing felonious acts in the past should be barred from holding an elected office, creating and or upholding law. I wouldn't hire an accountant with an embezzlement conviction, a financial advisor with a securities fraud conviction, or a doctor with malpractice charges.
You mean like
Those are
money?
positions of high trust, as are elected offices. So those holding such positions need high levels of integrity. Granted, a disorderly conduct charge at age 18 for someone currently aged 50 is one thing and could potentially be excused as a youthful mistake. But a person needs to be a professional currently, as well as having been one for years, to hold a professional position. In that light, it is necessary and appropriate for the electorate to know for whom they vote. If there are prior issues with a candidate, the public should know. All elected officials.
By the way, what he just said is exactly what describes that fucking tranny piece of shit here from Stark County. When they literally have convictions for being a fucking scumbag ass criminal. Yeah, Vanessa Joy is who I'm talking about, which Andy No talked about this sick piece of shit before. And it was Vanessa Joy is what they call themselves right now. And when you actually look up the name, see if I can pull up the thing with Andy No. Here's what it is. Let's see here. Media.
The only thing that we can do.
Yeah, it's literally let's see if I can pull this up real quick right now. Who we're talking about specifically is this fucking child molester right here, who's a fucking man pretending to be a woman is what it is. And then as Andy No pointed out here, I'm trying to see if I can find his fucking tweet there. See what is that right now? Oh, here we go. This is Andy No's thing right here. Yeah, Ohio trans lawmaker candidate tried to hide prior name and active sex work life. Yeah, this is what Andy No is talking about here. Yeah, so biased media trans activists claim transphobic legislation is behind what trans activist candidate in Ohio being disqualified from the ballot. However, Vanessa Joy, who is running in Ohio's House District 50, which is what it was me, by the way, which they thank God were fucking disqualified from the running is what it was there. Says violated state law when they failed to disclose a name change. The law, which has the exemption for those who changed being married, allows the public to vet candidates who may have been known under other identities. And this is what this sick fucker looked like before this, honestly, was Jeremy Michael Adams, what they used to call themselves back in the day. Yeah, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and a bunch of other stuff, too, for that matter. And they also did, like, active sex work is what it was there, too. And like I said, can't go any further than that. But, yeah, they were doing fucking dildoing their fake pussy with a fucking dilator in front of their toddlers, what it is, dude. Sick fucking child molesting piece of shit. So yeah, if you ever know why I fucking hate Jeremy Michael Adams, aka Vanessa Joy, it's that fucking reason, dude. Because this sick wannabe fake trans fucker is only running for office here in Ohio, or even trying to run for office here in Ohio, because they quite literally want to fucking sterilize children legitimately. And yeah, they should be fucking disqualified from the running based on that alone is what it is, dude.
And candidates do some type of research on their opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And these findings, if any, show up in various ads, speeches, press releases, etc.
Usually attack ads is what it is.
Changing a name doesn't change the person.
Exactly.
Hence the 85-year-old requirement to provide former names.
Yep.
It should be noted that married women are asked many times to disclose their maiden name. In closing, this legislation meets the logical and reasonableness requirements for its adoption into law.
Fucking easy to come
Chairman
along.
Peterson and members of the committee, Thank you again for the opportunity to share my testimony, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your testimony. Other questions for the witness? Evidently, the previous witness got all the questions. So thank you for being with us today.
He did a good job of it too. Thank you all.
Okay, didn't hear that guy, but don't really care, honestly. Let's see if we get I think it's 467 will be up next here. Maybe it's right after
Actually does
this one.
that.
By the way, this is the dumb cunt Michelle Grimm, who I'm pretty sure is a dyke, by the way, who had the audacity to try to push more anti-gunner bullshit here in Ohio after the last preventable tragedy that was Nashville about a year ago, give or take. So, I'm going to go back in this for about a minute or so.
Quote, won by the undervote, as the listed candidates earn fewer total votes than the number of votes not cast on that ballot line. Improving this situation requires more and not less information. Two of the most important sources of information for our voters are the candidate petition and the ballot itself. Boards of elections are required to prepare and vote to approve ballots well in advance of election day and to make sample ballots available.
Really, dude? Really? Because literally we have technology where you can just print shit off like the day of the fucking thing, buddy. Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, that's a bunch of bullshit, dude. And again, it's a way to fuck people like me being able to get on the ballot within like 90 days or something like that's what it is there, dude. That's all that shit is, man. Just a way to fuck over the little guy who can't get their thing until the last minute is what it is there. So you have write-in candidates that can't be having their names on the fucking ballot, which, by the way, I want to point something out. There's about 7 different write-in candidates for the governorship in 2022. Had any of them been on the fucking ballot, Mike DeWine wouldn't be governor right now. Neither would that idiot, the dumbass ex-mayor of Dayton, Nan Whaley. So,
available for review so that voters have the opportunity to see their ballot before arriving at their polling place. And this is the key reason, in my view, for the existing statutory requirement to list prior names on the candidate petition. Voters should have the opportunity to fully vet a candidate who is asking.
Yeah, he's right about that one, though.
The more voters know about a candidate, the more likely they are to vote for the candidate or to choose another candidate.
Or you know what else we could do? We could just have unlimited qualification diversity of power in this country, dude. Something I've been fucking talking about for over 5 years now. When you literally have people who are running, specifically going back to, you know, Jeremy Michael Adams / Vanessa Joy and the other fucking trans pieces of shit that are running for office here in Ohio, this general election or this primary election, and now this, I think one of them got in the general election. Here's what it is. These fucking people are literally running on fucking legislation to sterilize children, dude. How is that not an automatic disqualification from office at that point, dude? From the running for office, for that matter. When your whole entire end game is to end a child from being able to have kids in the future. To literally end their existence after them. To not have generations after them. It blows my mind, honestly, dude. It really does. And yeah, that's why I do support, you know, stuff like that to disqualify people from even running for office, for that matter. If you're running on those kind of platforms, to sterilize kids, to fucking ban guns, to, you know, mass genocide, human life in the womb, etc. Just fuck these fucking demons, dude. That's what the Democrat Party is at this point, dude. Seriously, in 2024, the Democrat Party is literally demon-possessed individuals. End of fucking story. We are fighting demons, people.
I would ask you to remember that hidden participant, the undervote, and to vote in favor of more, not less information for the electorate. And I would urge you to oppose House Bill 467. I'm glad to answer any questions.
Oh, okay. It was 467 there.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course,
very
this is
much,
the stupid
Chair,
bitch that's
and
actually part of
thanks
this
for
whole fucking
coming
thing.
back, twice in one day. So a couple of questions. You had mentioned in the previous testimony around
God, she's an ugly
that,
woman.
just a simple fix to put the provision in the candidate handbook. This bill actually does that.
Bullshit, it does.
But in addition to that, it would exempt people who have legally changed their name in the state of Ohio.
No, it would exempt pedophiles to be on the fucking ballot now. Which is enabling ass is Grim, you fucking sick child molesting fuck.
So a lot of the proponents of this bill talked about the rigorous process of legally changing your name. You have to go to the probate court. You
Doesn't
have
matter.
to get it put in the paper. So
Nobody gives a shit, bitch.
their arguments are you can go.
What was that one thing called with the eyes? It was something Duke and I were talking about before. It was like, it's like the like sand pie or Sanya eye or something like that, dude. I swear to God, that's exactly what Grim has going on right now. She's got like this fucking psycho eyes, dude, where she's like a fucking nut job.
Google me and find my old name very easily. And I think
can you though, lady? Because look how hard it was for people to find out who, quote unquote, Vanessa Joy was. Because Jerry Michael Adams was trying to hide his fucking name from Stark County residents, including myself, who were the fucking voter base here for that ass wipe. Or really that district, I should say, which would be District 50, to potentially vote either for or against this fucking douchebag. Which, by the way, I will never, ever, 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 ever vote fucking Democrat again in my entire life. Because fuck these fucking people, dude. I don't give a shit if the rhino is corrupt as fuck at that point, dude. If I know that they're corrupt as fuck, I'd rather vote for them, their piece of shit ass, only to then, a year or two later, take them out through various legislation to allow for recall voting, there is what it is, at a state or local level, and leave them in power for a year or two, than to have some fucking piece of shit Democrat in power, dude.
to the point of the representative over here, Representative Seitz, if I had an opponent that's been married a couple of times, that's much harder to find. But with exempt.
Is it though, lady? Or is it you having to force their disclosure for their maiden name, you idiot? Which we were talking about there.
People who have legally changed their name so they don't have to use their dead name or whatever, for example.
Oh, fuck you, you pro-trans piece of shit.
It's still a fair process.
It's not a dead name, it's their biologically
kind of,
God-given name, you fucking idiot, by their
figure out
parents.
why you
Stupid
think
bitch.
that someone who's gone through this rigorous process, you can't have a felony and change your name. I mean, it's fair. It's a
bullshit, you can't. Bullshit, you fucking can't. Hell, look at other states right now. Look at fucking Denver right now, dude. You have active fucking child molester, or sorry, not Denver, Colorado. You have active child molesters in the state of Colorado right now that Democrats, this past General Assembly there in Colorado, have now put forward legislation to allow them to do name changes so they can hide their identity from the American people and be able to be around kids again, dude, with a felony fucking record of raping children. So it's literally one step away from what you're saying right there, Grim, of running for fucking office then.
very rigorous process. So why shouldn't someone who's already legally changed their name be able to use that name and not have to disclose a name?
Because they're lying about who they really are, you stupid fucking cunt. That's the entire point. They're literally lying to the voter base about who fucking are. If you have some person going to be transgender who's saying, my name is Vanessa Joy now, and not saying it used to be Jeremy Michael Adams, they're fucking lying about who they actually are, dude. And they're attempting to falsify their ability for people to find out who they actually are, especially, like I said, with Andy Knows, great work, which, thank you, Andy, praise you like a motherfucker there, dude. Hats off to you, buddy. Because that dude is one of the best citizen journalists I've ever seen in my entire life, dude. I'm so glad he survived the Antifa's attack and assassination on his ass that day when he did the quick shake in the back of his head when it was there. Because he has done so much for this country right now as a citizen journalist. Funny. But yeah, if it wasn't for Andy No, we wouldn't know that Vanessa Joy is Jeremy Michael Adams is what it is there. And he would not have been kicked off the fucking ballot for lying to the American people here in Stark County about who he really was is what it is, dude. And not to mention, we wouldn't have found out about the whole sex work thing. It was, again, like, how the hell are you going to have somebody that is doing sex work around children be a fucking state rep, for God's sakes, dude? Like, you're literally doing adult entertainment around kids, man, while at the same time trying to run for office on platforms to sterilize kids, man. Again, fuck off out of here, bitch. I really want to fight Michelle Grimm at this point, dude. I really fucking do, man. I just want to fight this anti-gun Bloomberg cunt right now, dude.
Chairman, Representative, I think the big concern there would be for voters, for candidates, people who are moving from other states or don't have any sort of in-state history available to them.
And that's another problem I've always had with everything like that, dude. How are you going to be running for a state rep seat or any kind of seat of power in a different state than when you just moved here like a year or two ago? Like, how is that not carpetbagging bullshit at that point, bro? Like, that's another thing, too, I think should be a change right now. There should be a minimum. You have to live in a state for at least 10 years to even run for office at that point then. And even then, there should be, like, a hardcore vetting on those people is what it is, dude. To prove that they actually care about the fucking people they're trying to represent is what it is then. Because, again, if it's something, like, for instance, like, look at all these Moms Made Action cunts that came here after Sandy Hook in 2012, dude. That's been 12 years now. If they wouldn't run for office in the state of Ohio, they can right now. And yet, meanwhile, they shouldn't be allowed to because they have direct ties to anti-gun bullshit, man. They directly left their shithole anti-gunner state to come fuck up my pro-gun state is what it is, dude. So yeah, go fuck off back to your cunt state, bitches. Of fucking Connecticut is what it is there.
And honestly, I'm not completely familiar with what the probate court process is for name change.
Doesn't matter what it is, dude.
Information is available as a result of that about someone's prior voting history in particular. I'm sorry, did you? Oh, no, that's all right. No. And actually, maybe I can best answer the rest of it after you ask the next part of it. So.
Continue.
I didn't mean to do that. So as I mentioned, this bill only lets people who have legally changed their name in the state of Ohio. Mm-hmm. So if someone moved from Indiana or Michigan or Kentucky, they would still have to disclose that. So just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, appreciate that.
Yeah, so what she really means is a bunch of pedophiles in Ohio under the Democrat Party can change their names and then run for office is what it is. That's what she's really saying, honestly. This is pro-pedo legislation. That's all it is, dude. That's all HB433 really is.
Number two, with the proponent testimony, so everyone, so that we had 3 trans candidates and one who decided to legally change her name to her basically common law husband's last name. So all of them described the same thing.
So a bunch of men.
Probate court, you have to fill out an immense amount of paperwork. You have to disclose any issues that you have with the law.
Okay, again, going back to disqualifiers from office, how is mental illness, where you're literally chopping pieces of yourself off, not an auto DQ from office, dude? Not an auto DQ from the ring at that point? That's what fucking Grimm's talking about, dude. You're talking about people who are on not puberty blockers, hormone treatments to literally fake being something that they're not, fake being in the opposite sex, and be mentally fucking ill, which, by the way, until the latest DSM book, the same, DSM book that's now being used under House Bill 249 here to try to do like bipolar, schizophrenia, all that stuff like that, to do like red flag law bullshit is what it is here in the state of Ohio. It was until this latest DSM book you had gender dysphoria be clarified as a mental illness. It wasn't until people like Jazz Jennings and company fucking fought against that stuff and had it removed from the fucking DSM books, dude. That it's no longer clarified as a mental disorder, even though it fucking is. It's mental illness, dude, is what it is. Gender dysphoria is mental illness, period, end story. If you're faking to be a woman or you're faking to be a man as the opposite sex that you're born as, no, you're fucking gender dysphoric, dude, is what it is, and you should not be allowed to hold office in this country ever. Really, truthfully, you should be in a fucking nut house someplace. Is what it is. Getting the mental help you fucking need is what it is, bro. So,
actually, one of them said they had to clear up a bankruptcy before she could change her name. So there's.
Oh, you mean Vanessa Joy, aka Jeremy Michael Adams, the one that literally did bankruptcy and then dildoed in front of the fucking kid? Is what it is, lady.
There's a much more rigorous process in changing your name legally in the state of Ohio, and we know that process in the state of Ohio.
Doesn't matter. Stop letting trans people run for office.
State, and if you still had to disclose former names, because we didn't take that provision out. So if you did move from Indiana, you would still have to disclose your former name. I think it's within 5 years. Or someone who hasn't legally changed their name, they would still have to disclose that.
And again, I want to point something out on this whole thing that Grimm's not talking about, by the way, with this legislation. all these fucking people, whether it be Jeremy Michael Adams, whether it be all the other fucking so-called trans candidates in this in this whole last primary season, here's what it is, dude. They all changed their names since 2019. If they had done it before 2019, if they had done it back in 2018, 2017, 2016, whatever the case be, they could legally just use that fucking transgender name on the fucking ballot and it would be no fucking problem, dude. Because it's only a 5-year thing in the state of Ohio, and it was something that was enacted in 1994, I believe, or 1993, someplace in there. It's like 20 or 21 years old right now. But the entire point is it should be a lifetime anyway, dude. It should be a fucking lifetime thing. Like, I don't care who the fuck you were 15, 20 years ago, dude. You should disclose that shit, because how the fuck do I know you're not a fucking serial killer 20 years ago and got off with murdering a bunch of people? How the hell do I know you're not a fucking child molester from 20 years ago and literally got fucking, got brought up on charges and then somehow had some fucking piece of shit, leftist DA or Soros prosecutor, whatever the fuck it was, dude, just dropped charges against your fucking child molesting ass. So yeah, I want to know that stuff if I'm going to fucking, try to vet people is what it is for candidacy in this state is what it is then, man. Represent my ass or anybody else's ass for that matter then.
Who has legally changed their name goes through a much more rigorous process than someone who gets married.
Bullshit.
So
Bullshit.
So
lies, more Democrat lies.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Representative, thank you. I appreciate the additional information on it. I think I would cap by saying more information is better than less.
Yes, it is.
If
it is.
This bill proceeds, and to the extent that it does not limit the information available to potential voters, as you've described, I think that would be absolutely fine. The critical factor there is the understanding that when somebody goes to look at a petition, they will be able to know who it is they're voting for. And this is the universe we operate in. Every election, you go to your
okay. Here. Someone I gotta stop the guy because I'm gonna say this again right now that I'm thinking on it. How is this not deception and lies, dude? You are literally lying to the voter base to get into office. That's what you're doing right now. When you're falsifying what your name is now is what it is, man. You are absolutely lying to the fucking American people at that point of who you were, who you used to be, et cetera, there, to get elected into office and to do all kinds of shady shit is what it is, man. How is that in any way, shape, or form any kind of legal? It should not be. It is completely unconstitutional. It is completely just Democrat fucking slippery shit is what it is, dude. It's Democrat fuckery is what it really is, honestly, at the end of the day, dude. So, and I'm fucking sick and tired of all of it, man. So I'm getting kind of pissed. I was supposed to get a package from Amazon today. It should have been in the mail like an hour and a half ago that was delivered, but it wasn't. Because apparently as of this morning, at 3:17 a.m. this morning, it left an Amazon facility in Twinsburg. At 5:27 a.m., which was like a little over 2 hours later, arrived at the Canton facility. And then 7 minutes later, the package was transferred to another carrier for delivery. So instead of being USPS, it was now probably like Amazon truck, whatever the case be. It doesn't say out for delivery. That's what it is. So yeah, I have until like 8 p.m. tonight to get it to what it is, and then which really pisses me off because I kind of want to go take a nap right now and I'm fucking tired. But I said I gotta sit here and wait for this fucking thing to be delivered for the next 7 hours. So it's fucking infuriating, dude. For those interested, what I'm actually getting today, I'm actually going to try. I ordered some QD mounts from my AR build that I had recently, so I can put a sling on it finally, and some other things too, for that matter. That I needed, like specifically that other mouse that I got at the place the other day. I ordered a universal thing to make it work now, and I also ordered a charging cord for the that Philips shaver I got the other day for 50 cents. So anyway, going back to what this dude was saying about the candidate disclosure and stuff like that.
mailbox, and there's a stack of mailers this high that are being sent out by, making claims, counterclaims. And what we've increasingly finding in voting is people want to try to get accurate information that's outside
Damn right we will.
that filter to the extent that they can. They're turning on their TV and they're seeing ads. They're getting mailers in their
attack
inbox.
ads.
They go to who they trust, which is their Board of Elections.
Mhm.
They look at the candidate petition that they're asked to sign, and they look at the sample ballot so they understand who they're actually looking at. What I'm surprised at often and pleased with is how many people we have who will contact us and say, I want to research these names. And then usually the second question is, now who should I vote for? And I'll say, no, you have to research those names. That's the point. It's the hunger for the information that is the biggest concern to me, I think, and many in the elections community, because the more people know, the more likely they are to vote, the more likely they are to turn out in the first place, and to be able to make the right kind of choices.
Follow up, continue.
One more follow-up, Chair. Thank you very much. So the requirement for putting former names is actually just on the declaration of candidacy.
Correct.
And right now, there's no place to put it on there. However,
Then make a place, dumb
we let
bitch.
people with nicknames have whatever they want on the ballot, just as long as they put their legal name down on the declaration of candidacy or all on the paperwork. I used the example last time.
D's nuts.
if a lot of Michelles go by Shelley, I don't.
Of course you
Put
don't.
Shelley down, or they can put Rich down, or Bob down, or
Dick.
whatever. If they go by Butch, they could go by, they could put Butch. So
Or they could also just put stupid Democrat cunt.
what is the difference between putting a nickname that's not my real name on the ballot, because that's where they would, be researching this candidate.
By the way, lady, most people ain't going to do that, number one. Real serious candidates ain't going to do that anyway, number one. Number two, the people that would do that are not going to be serious candidates and aren't even going to be in the race at that point. Because most of those people that would do that kind of shit are probably going to be running as like a write-in candidate or something like that. And by the way, for those people, it would take a lot more fucking signatures to be gotten anyway to even get on the fucking ballot as a write-in candidate. And the name wouldn't even appear on the candidacy line as what it is then. So...
as opposed to the declaration of candidacy.
Mr. Chairman, you make a good point. Frankly, that's something that would be pretty easily clarified, I think, again, in terms of the declaration of candidacy form itself.
Exactly.
And maybe just to follow up, so the example you use is my example. When I first ran for office, the only person who knew me as Robert Peterson was my mother when she was mad at me. And that was not the name I wanted to use on the candidate form.
Let's go, Bobby.
The local board of elections in that case was both names are on every petition I've done. Both names have been listed, and the point of that there not being space. There is space if you write small enough, because you'll see my candidate.
Exactly.
My candidate name was Robert Peterson, Bob Peterson. So that was my experience. Just want to add to that. Representative Brown with a question.
Thank you, Chair.
Now, see, and that's the thing, right? I'm gonna point something out that Peterson said there, because he obviously said he had to write Robert and then Bob after the fact or whatever it is. The thing about that is, though, right? If you're somebody like Vanessa Joy / German Michael Adams, there probably ain't gonna be room for both those names on there, dude, because you're having two different fucking names that are completely different from each other. It's not like you're calling yourself Vanessa Adams or something like that, You're calling yourself something completely different is what it is there. Because you're a joyful nut is what it is.
Just one question under current law. Does a candidate's petition require a married woman to list her maiden name?
God, how many drugs and smokes has fucking Dick Brown's done in his life, dude? That guy's voice sounds horrible, man.
If the committee will indulge the chairman's feeble attempt at humor, one statement earlier was that the marriage process is easier than the court process. I can assure you from my experience as a Methodist boy marrying an amazing Catholic girl, the marriage process with that priest was not very easy. It was extensive, so forgive me for my attempt at humor.
Yeah, it's not funny, you idiot. It's just stupid.
Also, in this
waste of time.
With no other testimony, that will conclude 467. Next, I would call up House Bill 367 for a second hearing proponent testimony. We have only written testimony.
Oh yeah, they're trying to do it with deep fakes in the state now is what it is. So that's all I really want to talk about was those things though. Plus we've been going for like an hour and a half and I got stuff I gotta do before I do anything else then, so yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. I'm just so fucking over all of it, dude. I'm so sick. I'm just sick and tired of the fucking Democrats in this fucking state house is what it is, dude, and this General Assembly in general being given anything at this point in history. Because they're all scumbag criminals, and so is Peterson for that matter. He's been doing all kinds of shady fucking shit too for that matter, dude. So it's like enough is enough of this shit, bro. God damn, bro. So I was watching this video of this. They were talking about this chick being a catfisher. So this is what this girl looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this video up here. This is what this chick looks like originally with her original face without makeup and stuff on, only to go at the very end and turn into that. Yeah, I would say that's definitely catfishing for sure, man. Like, how is that not, bro? Like, if I'm smashing that, man, and I wake up next to that in the morning, I'm like, what the fuck? You know? Like, again, it's all deception and lies, dude. It's all Democrat deception and lies at the end of the day, dude. It's fucked up, bro. It's also why I tend to, that's why I actually prefer a chick without makeup most of the time, because it becomes a situation then where you can actually tell what she's going to look like. If she's good looking without makeup on, she'll be good looking with makeup on is what it is, dude. And that's the thing, too. Like, I feel like most women, like, specifically, I'm going to go back and talk about this chick right here, actually, for a sec. If you look at this girl here in this video from the Wall Street people there, she definitely has, like, a fuck ton of, like, blush and, like, eyeliner and everything else like that on, dude. Like, she's definitely faking to be what she really is there. And I guarantee she's still good looking without makeup on. She's just not as good looking with all these makeup on as what it is there, dude. So, yeah, like, I guarantee she's, like, way less good looking right there is what it is without the makeup on then and with a ton of makeup on her face. And the problem with stuff like that is it's these females that'll pull stuff like that. Shit. I don't know, really bad. Way too high is what it is there. What was she even talking about there? I don't even know. Doesn't really matter. The whole point is, though, it's like, yeah, you have all these people that are just, like, faking to be what they are is what it is, dude. And then, they want to sit there and fuck around and then, like, lie to people about who they really are, what they really are is what it is then. So, and it's all deception and lies at the end of the day, dude. Actually, let's go ahead and see what this said actually here. It said, this is exactly what men don't like. This is how all women think, question mark. Let's go ahead and see what she's saying here in this 1 minute video.
Okay, I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy, and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like,
I've seen this before.
But I'm not going to sleep with him. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And, like, I just wanted him to, like, try, and then for me to be like, no. You know what I mean?
Jesus fucking Christ.
I wasn't going to sleep with him. Now I feel ugly. This is what...
Dude, she is both ugly on the outside and the inside on that one, for real. Like, that's the problem right there, right? Like, she's like, oh, I'm not gonna fuck you. He's like, okay, cool. Like, just big spooned her ass for the night or whatever the case. But she's like, bro, are you fucking gay? You didn't even try nothing? It's like, yeah, he's respecting your wishes, you dumb cunt. He's being chivalrous, you idiot. Clearly it's something you've never had before, you dumb bitch, because obviously my guess would be every fucking guy she's ever done shit like that with probably fucking yanked her pants down and tried to fuck her in the ass is my guess, and she was into it then. And she let him do it then. Or they're like, oh yeah, you said you don't want to fuck or whatever, but let's fuck anyway. And they're just like, you know, playing with their snatch or whatever it is there and whatnot. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll fucking suck you off then, whatever. And then it goes from one thing to another and they actually fuck her, that's what it is. But yeah, it's so fucking retarded, dude, is what it is though. Like, I'm just, oh my God. People wonder why I'm single. This is why. Like this is the shit I'm not dealing with, dude, in my life anymore. Like for real. Like I'm just not gonna deal with this crap anymore, dude. I ain't got time for that shit. You know, it's like I was on a dating site the other day and I updated the profile there because I was talking about different things, what it is and whatnot. And what was I gonna say now? Yeah, I updated my profile to basically talk about my 2A lifestyle and, you know, being a advocate for the Second Amendment and Constitution and everything else like that there. And I was like, just to be clear on this one, ladies, like this shit always comes first. You know, you might have some kids out there that always come first over the case, but guess what? My 2A grassroots candidacy stuff, my 2A, you know, advocacy and stuff like that always comes before anything else is what it is. Because I will never stop fighting for the Second Amendment is what it is there. So, and that's truth of the matter, dude. Like, because that's the thing. Second Amendment's always going to be there for me as long as I'm there for it. Versus most of these hoes won't even give you the time of day is what it is anymore, dude. So, and my whole point of the whole thing was to then say like, hey, you know, I'd like somebody to be there by my side as like a second for me is what it is, that kind of person then, you know. Because that's the thing, like it could take a back burner for a little bit of time, or whatever. Like I'm still gonna do stuff is what it is there, but at the same time, it's like if I'm in a relationship with a chick or whatever, then. But the whole point is like, yeah, it's gonna be something where I'd like to have that female be by my side and be there for me if I need her to, you know, help me out with stuff, whatever the case be. I'd like to know that she's gonna be there to help me out for this stuff is what it is there, dude. Or if I'm running for office, whatever the case be, she'd be there to help me out with that kind of stuff then, and be motivating for me and whatnot. So. But yeah, it's a whole thing, man. So anyway, for those wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm fucking with my phone. It's got a bunch of crud on the thing here that I can't really get off. So I'm using the Tupperware peeler thing to yank some of the gross ass shit off of it there and just like get it done then. I probably could do the same thing with like duster stuff, but I don't know if it would actually shoot it out with all the dust or not then. Because it's not really dust, it's like gunk that's been stuck on the side. I'm probably gonna take this whole thing off and just wash it later or something though. That's one thing people don't realize about like phone cases or like phones in general is how dirty and disgusting they actually get over time, dude, and how it needs to be like you need to take that phone case and like wash it or rinse it or something like that, or at least alcohol swab it anyway to get to be clean again then. So it's just fucking retarded what it is, dude. And then somebody else is saying back to the Wall Street Bets channel there, it said that girl should have slept. She knew exactly where things were headed, what she was locking into, and then she was disappointed it didn't happen. Believe her actions, not her words. Exactly. And somebody else said she is immaturity, insecurity, entitlement, and narcissistic behaviors all in one package. Probably missing several other traits too. This is bad news for her. She is ugly on the inside, and no amount of makeup or video filters will cover that up on the outside either. Exactly, dude. And somebody else said at least she recognizes it. The thing of that is, though, does she, though? Because she kind of does, but doesn't really, though, dude, is what it is. So. I actually like this. I think we're going to leave off on this one, actually, right now. This is kind of like a Democrat fucking thing, too, for that matter, dude. So you got dude should have known better. It's all in the book, How to Understand Women, Volume 2 of 10. Yeah, this is basically like a giant congressional book or something like that of like bullshit or whatever for one of their bills and stuff. It's like all the anti-gunner shit already in the books, whatever the case be, and Democrats trying to put more on there, so it is now or something. So anyway, check what my notification was there. Oh, it's just me talking about the airlines pedophiles is what it is there, which if you haven't seen that one, dude, it's fucked up. So there was a guy, it was American Airlines the other day, it was some pilot guy for that company, disgusting child molesting piece of shit, put a fucking camera in I think it was his phone actually, if I'm not mistaken, so it was his phone with the camera on is what it is there, recording video and stuff, underneath the toilet seat of a toilet where a little girl is about to walk into this fucking bathroom to use. And so he was recording this little girl basically because he's a sick fuck is what it is there. And instead of American Airlines being like, yeah, we're sorry we hired a pedophile, we're no longer going to have him employed here, whatever the case be, we're going to make sure he's prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. They're like, oh no, it was the little girl's fault for doing the stuff. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what in the fuck is wrong with you people, dude? Like, seriously, like I'm saying, dude, it makes me want to beat the fucking brakes off these people sometimes, honestly. Like, a lot of the time anymore. Like, the fact that most Americans ain't fucking swinging, bro, is exactly what's wrong with this country right now. And by that, I mean swinging their faith. That's what I'm talking about, just to be clarification on that one. Yeah, the fact that most Americans ain't coming out swinging is what I mean to say on that one. In fact, not just coming out like fucking, right hook, left hook, whatever it is there. And just pit popping and stuff like that then. Oh, holy shit, bro. So if you haven't seen that crazy ass King Charles photo, apparently if you turn upside down, it's like literally the fucking Satanist goat skull. That's what it is there. That's disturbing as shit. It's now on the Network's X page now. So if you want to see it on there, you can go to at Real Open 6/13/22. You'll find it on our page right there. So, Jesus Christ. Speaking of pedophiles internationally, we got Germany beating a bunch of sick. Breaking: Germany just decriminalized possession of child porn. It has now been downgraded to a misdemeanor. It says lower minimum penalties for child pornography offenses. Fucking hell, Germany. I think we need to have a third world war for real. Like, is it really time for a World War III against Germany? I think so, man. So, anyway. Yeah, as I said, the rest I'm pretty sure Germany wants their ass beaten in World War III as well. So, that's about how it's coming right now, man, for real. But what we'll finish off today is with some crazy cat eyes. Cat's eyes dilate when they have hiccups. That's creepy. Cats probably have like the freakiest eyes ever, anyway. And it's like I know it's something to do. I forget what the actual thing is called or whatever. Basically, it's the difference between like little slit eyes and they're like full like dilated eyes or whatever. And it has to do with like lights and stuff like that because they can see in the dark. Basically, is what it is. And that's what it is. Like the like slit eyes that they have going on, or whatever the case be, where it's up and down and stuff. I think is what's in the daytime is what it is then, and when it gets to like night is when their eyes like fully dilate out or whatever, so they can actually see like in the darkness and stuff like that, or see like very low light in the darkness or whatever it is then, and be able to see like various prey running off, whether it be like mice or chipmunks or whatever else the case be they're going to go after, squirrels, rabbits, whatever case be there is, birds and stuff. So, but yeah, it's pretty interesting, dude. Pretty interesting. I feel like honestly, like of all the things I don't like about our society and stuff like that, what was really cool about the Batman Beyond TV series cartoon in the early 2000s, I believe is what it was there. One thing I always thought was really cool about that one was the I think they called them splicers or something like that, and it was the people that would get like spliced up shit, so they would be able to get have like cat eyes and like see in the dark and like have other kinds of like features of like different animals and whatnot. It'd be basically like a weird like human hybrid is what it was there. So that being said, would I ever do that to myself? Like, probably not. However, that being said, like, would it be interesting? Oh my god, bro, what the fuck? Would it be interesting to see be able to see in the dark and stuff like that with your actual regular eyes though? Guess it would be fucking cool though. So. Guy. I kind of want to show this video, but I don't want to show the video because I think it's probably going to give me channel strike if I talk about it too much, if I would show the video. So we're going to page, and it was the Alpha Fox channel here saying, can you spot the issue here? So you got dumbass man, who I'm guessing is the father of the kid that's standing in the video here at a gun range. The kid's standing off to the side. Dad's over here firing a revolver. and then literally sweeps revolver right across the fucking kid's head, basically in the background, to hand it back to a dude. And he's by the way, he not only points it at the kid, he's pointing it directly at the fucking guy he's handing it back to. Like, goddamn, dude. Like, it's called the basic rules of firearm safety. You're going to shoot a fucking gun, you point it in a downwards direction when you're fucking done, dumbass. You hand it back to him that way. You hand it back to him like this, not like, fucking let me sweep it like this and then hand it back to you like that, or I'm fucking holding it like an idiot. In hell, man. God damn, dude. Alright. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the day, though. Just to reiterate, Josh Williams is a sack of shit. Michelle Grimm is a stupid fucking cunt. The entire Democrat Party of the state of Ohio can suck my dick, personally. They all suck. They're a bunch of scumbag, oath-breaking fuckers. They only be thrown out of office at this point in history. Etc. So, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm going to sit here for 6 hours and wait for my shit to come then. So. And it better damn well be here in the next couple hours for sure, man, because it's getting ridiculous. It should already be here right now, actually. I don't understand how the hell it was going to be shipped to be delivered U.S., but then they're going to sit there and fucking not have it delivered by the post office, then that's just dumb. Unless it was because it got there just late enough to have to go to an Amazon truck or something like that. But you would think still, like, come on, man. Like, how the hell are you not, like, in my motherfucking area out for delivery at this point, bro? Like, seriously, it's ridiculous. I just hope that the wireless receiver for the mouse that I got is actually going to work. It was what it was labeled as the thing for it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it better work. If it doesn't, I'm definitely sending it back then. I'm not being charged $5 for that fucking thing. And then, of course, the Philips and Relco replacement charging cord should work easily then. And then hopefully these slings attachment points will actually work properly then. For the price that I paid for these, the full thing, even with the hookup and stuff like that, but they weren't, unfortunately. It's basically just like to put them in the points, which is fine because the AR I plan on putting them on, there's attachment points on both ends of the thing. There's obviously one on the to put it into the what do you call it there? The butt stock area. On the stock itself, the 2A stock, it has a little attachment point there, put it in there. And then the very front of that one, the rail that it comes with, we put it in there and stuff too. So pretty sure it'll attach on fine like that. Hopefully it'll work well then. So I look forward to seeing how it looks after it's put in there and stuff. It should look pretty cool actually. So I'll have to take a picture of it one of these days and then put it on NEA's Discord and the gun porn or something they can shit on there in one of his chats in the future or something like that then. So maybe I'll put it on tactical stuff too so you can show it on the Thursday show or something like that then. Anyway, other than that, though, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. You guys got 2 grandstands in one day. Good for you. We need to talk about 433. It's a bunch of shit, dude. All this Democrat crap is what it is. Bob Peterson can go fuck himself too. He's a scumbag, rhino sack of crap for even giving these asshole Democrat 100% anti-gun legislation, all Democrat legislation, fucking hearings to begin with. Stop giving it to him, you fucking rhino sack of shit. Unless you want to be Article 1, Section 2 out of office yourself, Peterson, because we can easily do that right now. In fact, when I move, I can easily move down to Ross County, which we represent, douchebag, and literally primary your fucking ass out then, myself, in a recall vote thing is what it is then. So, well, actually, tell it would be primary, got to be special election you're assing out then, with Article 1, Section 2, and taking your job then. Which might be what it takes, honestly, at this point. But anyway. Other than that, that's pretty much what I'm at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you all on the next one. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be carrying, because you never know what's going to happen, especially with crazy-ass Democrats in power right now and the fucking absolutely preventable tragedies that they're trying to create again now. Of course, they're going to try to use tragedies to fucking push their agendas now. At least last year. Responsible for another mass casualty event here in Ohio, just so you can push his fucking mag bans even harder. What it is, dude. Because at the end of the day, what the shit really is, it is both an attack on the Second Amendment, but it's more so, it sounds like an attack on magazine capacity is what it is on top of that, dude. So it's basically a mag ban, but it's also a direct attack on the Second Amendment and infringement upon our constitutional rights is what it is. And like I said in the last episode, 449, yes, all this stuff is fucking battlefield weaponry, and we have every right to own it, you fucking dickless Democrat, sack of shit, fucking commie bastard. Go fuck yourself, Willis. Go eat shit, get the fuck out of Ohio politics, get the fuck out of my state, you fucking asshole, and take your commie bullshit to fucking China or some other fucking shithole nation like that, you douchebag. Fuck off out of here with that crap. For everybody else out there, have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Peace out, everybody. See you later.